Alright, so hood's flipped over, and now I'm just looking to see if I see any dingers. The other one had like a dent in here, just a real light dinger. I think it had like 2 or 3. And the other thing I noticed on the other hood is that when they stamp these braces in here, they spot weld this. And I noticed on the other one that the spot weld, instead of kind of being in the center of this edge, was actually up, and it had puckered the edge of the hood up, which, looking at this one, so far it looks pretty darn good. See a little bit, you can kind of see where they stamped it, but I'm not going to worry about that. Everything else looks pretty good. This is actually a pretty nice hood. One little pucker right there. You just barely feel it. I think that'll stand out. I don't know if we can see it or not. But there is nothing here. Feeling it. Looks pretty good. Feels good. Looks good. So, like I say, once again, the other epoxy, the epoxy of the sealer that it comes with the hood and the other hood, and it actually sanded really nice. So I'm going to grab some 180 and actually I'm going to grab some 320, sand this, see if it feathers out. If it feels like it's chunking, then I'll go to 180 and just strip the hood, because I like my epoxy better. But the other hood, it was really good. So let's hope that this hood, epoxy on this hood, is just as good, and then we'll buzz it down. We will seal it, so because we'll probably break through in a couple spots, but hopefully with 320 or 180 this thing out. I like 320, it's a little finer of a scratch, but if you got a 180, just make sure that you seal, because you're right at that sanding grit where maybe 180 will come back on you, like shrink in. So 320, 240 will be a little bit better. The other thing is, a little tip is when you put these, you can see here, I had my stand, got one of these are just Harbor Freight stands. This one underneath it has a foam pad. I don't want to put it on a bare metal, put a nice hood on bare metal, but you can see that I ran it this way, so you'd actually want your stand to be front to back like that, not that way. The reason being that this longer part will touch more area on the hood versus if it goes this way, because we've got a really big arc. So if you put it sideways, you put that like this, set your hood on here upside down, only about this much is going to hit the hood, and you have a chance of actually denting the hood. So something, just be careful if you end up putting your hood on a stand. So that's something to think about. I've done it before. Look back and had a dent and dinger in there, and I'm not too stoked on that because I think I do bodywork and prime and etc. So I'm gonna grab the DA and try to buzz this thing down real quick. So we're back here again. We're working on the Bronco hood. We've got it all prepped out, sanded down with 320, set up on our stand, and I went ahead and wax and grease removed it. You can see all this, just like the dust that it picks up. So just did that before I put it in the booth, just trying to keep some of the dirt out of the booth. I will wax and grease it once it's in the booth. I don't know if that's going to be later today or tomorrow. But I was kind of showing you the update on that. We got it all scuffed down, tops and all 320. This is actually feathered out really nice, so I'm not too worried about this E-coat here, and meaning that it's got a very good adhesion, whatever they did on this hood, that E-coat is sticking really good, so I'm not worried about it peeling off down the road. We'll get those painted in the next day or so, and hopefully get these 2 Broncos wrapped up. Alright, so we're back here in the paint booth, getting our 73 Bronco hood finished up. We got it all prepped. We got it clean. I'm going to go ahead and wax and grease this thing one more time just to be safe, especially now that it's in the booth. Plus it'll help get some of the residue. Basically, you can see here, like, this is a little bit of dust, but I think it's mostly just from wiping it. I mean, a little bit of dust, and also from wiping it down, the dust, the sanding dust off of it before. And then tack it really good with a tack rag, and then we're going to spray a epoxy sealer on it, and then spray, dust some base on it, and then put some clear on it. So that's kind of the plan there. Like I said, we got it up on the stand. The stand's kind of nice because other than these two bars, you could kind of get in here with a paint gun real nicely. And also, this thing's pretty cool because you can adjust it up like this, and actually it'll go all the way flat. I just don't want to do it with one hand because it's a little front heavy. So I'll do that when I got two hands free, not holding the camera. And we can set that up there and spray our paint flat, which sometimes is a little easier to get to lay out smooth and less chance of it running. Especially with that clear, because I like to bake a run in that clear for some reason. Anyway, it's pretty warm in here, so we should be able to paint pretty quick. 75, which is actually a really good degrees to paint. So I'm gonna grab my suit. I got my epoxy already mixed up. I'm gonna suit up, tack that thing down, wax and grease it, tack it down, and then I'm gonna spray some sealer on it. Probably give that about an hour, hour and a half to flash off, and then we'll throw some base on this. Alright, got that thing cleared, based and cleared, sitting in the booth. So, got that thing all done. Got a little bit of a sag over there from having it upright. I'm hoping maybe that if I turn it right there, maybe that sag will come back a little bit. Nothing unusual. We can cut and buff that pretty easy. Yeah, that's pretty much it. In it, one little black spot. Might have to try to knock the wet sand out. Hopefully it'll come out. If not, I'll have to repaint the hood. But pretty much what all I got for this video. I'm gonna end the video here. Remember, if you like this type of stuff, give this a like, subscribe,